Hi everyone, welcome to Carrie's Cooking Corner. Today we're going to be talking about something that I feel like a lot of people need help on, and that's how to stretch your food budget. Whether you are facing job loss or a decrease in your checks, this is something that we need to talk about, especially with everything that's going on right now. So let's get into it. First, you're going to want to buy basic ingredients. By this I mean like eggs, milk, sugar, flour, basic stuff like that. And you can make a lot more with flour, eggs, milk, and sugar than you think you can. If you see me looking down, I have notes. And instead of boxed food, like if you buy macaroni and cheese in boxes, something that might help you is buying the macaroni noodles, because it'll come in a bigger container, and then buying a big bag of cheese or a big block of cheese and shredding it yourself. And that'll actually save you a lot more money than if you bought a whole bunch of mac and cheese boxes. Again, we're looking at how to stretch this, so take these tips with a grain of salt and take what you can do and leave what you can't. Now we're going to talk more about cooking from scratch. So with cooking from scratch, if you're working a very busy schedule or you just don't have time, what you can do is you can proportion out your ingredients per each meal. So let's take the mac and cheese example. You're going to want X amount of macaroni noodles. Remember, they're going to double in size, just like all pasta does, all beans do, and all rice does. And then you're going to want to proportion out your cheese. And that will actually help you per each macaroni and cheese. Then you've got homemade macaroni and cheese. Example would be, instead of buying a big thing of cookies from the store, look up a cookie recipe, whether that's from your home cookbook, a cookbook that you buy, or from a recipe you just find online, and proportion out how much you need of each ingredient for that recipe, and just have that ready to go whenever you're ready to make cookies. You can do this with a lot of stuff. You can do this with pasta, you could do this with sweets, you could do this with pretty much everything. And just remember, anything you see in the frozen aisle can be frozen at home as well. So if you want to stretch your budget as much as you can, but you want lasagna in your life, buy everything you need for lasagna, make it, and then freeze it. And then you have lasagna ready to go. Alright, let's see. And then you're going to want to meal plan whenever you do this. But make sure you meal plan what you and your family are actually going to eat. Because if you make a plan and it's not something y'all actually are going to eat, it does you no good. I've got something I also want to show you. So for those of you who struggle with figuring out what you want to eat for dinner and think it's really hard to meal plan, Carrie, I don't know how to do that, I never follow it, how am I going to do that? Here's something I've got for you. I got this off of TikTok. I don't remember the creator's name, but I want to give them credit where I can. So basically, if you are a D&D fan and you have a D20, it's a dice with 20 sides. Make a list, number 1 through 20. Put a thing for each, even if that's just hamburger meat. You can make anything with that. If it's chicken, make something with that. Or sandwiches, soups, breakfast for dinner, or cereal for dinner. Do that. Then, at the beginning of each week, roll whatever you get. You're going to decide which day gets which of those meals. And that will help you with meal planning. I do it myself, so I know it works. Let's see. And then you use the whole food. So if you get a chicken, like a whole chicken, or even just part of a chicken, like you get chicken legs or chicken thighs or chicken wings. Eat the meat off that, and then take those bones, put them in a Ziploc bag, and put them in your freezer. When that bag gets full, you're going to want to make it into a bone broth. And with your veggies, take the parts that you don't eat, that you would usually throw away, do the same process and turn that into a veggie stock. That will help you with not only adding nutrition to your diet, because it adds a lot of nutrition that you can't get in another way, but it'll also help you save money, and it'll also help you with, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes real quick. It'll also help add flavor to the foods that you are making. And I'm telling you, the difference between store-bought and homemade broth and stocks is immense. So making your own will actually add more flavor, and you can control how much salt you put in there or what flavor you want it to have. So you can put like bay leaves, and you can put peppercorns, and you can put different seasonings and stuff like that to make it your own. Now, that brings me to another point. Buy herb plants. Trust me, this will add more nutrition. It'll be fresher, which helps your diet, especially when you're on a very tight budget with food, which a lot of us are right now. Having the most nutrition is the best thing that you can add into your diet where you can. Now, a lot of more people are having to go on food stamps right now. Something I recently learned is, as of 2008, you can buy plants that produce food. That being a tree, a bush, a herb plant, anything that produces food, you can use on that card if you need to. Now, if you can't afford to get the actual plant, let me show you this. This is my basil plant. I grew it from a stem, and I stuck it in water, and it built a root system. This one's came from a pot, as you can see, but you can do this with almost every herb. I'm doing that same process with parsley and with cilantro, as well as chives or green onions. Different people call it different things. But go onto YouTube, go onto Google, and see what you can do, what herbs you can do this with, and if there are any that you can't. And just that alone will save you a lot of money, because you're not going to be constantly going back to buy those, I think they're 50 cents over at Walmart for the thing of chives or green onions. Depends on what you call it, but it's the same thing. You're not going to be constantly spending that 50 cents every time you want green onions. But you can grow it, cut a little bit off what you need, and then it will regrow. So that brings me to another point, is regrow what you can. So it's not just herbs you can do this with. I actually found this out a little bit back. You can take your celery, and if you chop your celery, hang on, I'll show you. Okay, so I've got my celery here. Celery. If you chop your celery about right here, put this part in water, and it will start to regrow the celery. Now, most people don't use these leaves. That's what I'm talking about as far as the parts of the vegetables that you don't eat. Snip these off, because you're not going to eat them, unless you do eat them, which then I need to meet you, because I've never met someone who does eat those. Put them in that bag in the freezer and make veggie broth. Do the same process with lettuce, but you got to be careful with the lettuce, because you don't want it to bolt upward. It requires a lot of maintenance. So again, look up on YouTube, on Google, on Yahoo if you use Yahoo. You've got the information at your fingertips right now. You're probably watching this on your phone. You can look it up while the video is playing if you need to keep yourself on task, or take notes. You can also do something similar with potatoes. If your potatoes have eyes looking at you and you just need to get rid of them, don't throw them away. Chop them up to where there's at least 2 eyes on each piece, or just chop them in half. Let the bottoms dry out overnight, and then plant it in some dirt, and you can have a potato plant. You can do the same thing with the bottoms of garlic and the bottoms of onions, and there's just a world of possibilities right there. Let's see. And make sure you take inventory each week or each month, however often you go to the store. Before you do it, take inventory of what you have and keep a running inventory. So if you have a ton of pasta and your family's good on pasta, don't buy more pasta. Instead, focus on other things, like maybe you're low on sugar, buy some more sugar. Or maybe you're low on spaghetti sauce, buy some more spaghetti sauce, and there, you've got spaghetti that you can make right there. And then also shop for deals. I know I came across some meat that was like, there were these whole chickens at Walmart that I found. They were like 97 cents a pound. Buy as many of those as you can. Shop the deals. That's how you get ahead and stock up your home and save on your food budget. Now, if you can't get meat that week, that's fine. The next time you can go and get some food, see what's available. Shop the deals. Don't just look at one store. Look online and see what stores are around. And along with that, if you make impulse purchases in the store, there's 3 options I have for you. Number 1, make a list before you go into the store. If you struggle with that, or you don't want to go into stores right now with COVID going around and new cases rising, I understand. You have 2 other options. You can do pickup at certain stores, and some of the stores, most of the stores, even have that for free as an option. They won't charge you any extra. So that's an option. Or you can have it delivered to you. Now, I haven't really tried this with more stores than just Walmart, but if you want it the same day, Walmart will charge you a fee, or in 2 hours or less. But if you want it for a day in the future, let's say the next day, or later that week, they won't charge you for the delivery. So that's another saving option. Plus, that will save you on gas as well. And then the last thing I'm going to leave you with is learn how to cook. There, again, is a wide range of information at your fingertips right now. There's my channel, where I try to talk about budget, and I try to make meals from basic ingredients, and I'm going to be adding more videos to that here soon, like how to make homemade tortillas, which then you can turn into chips if you really wanted some chips, and more things like that. But there's also countless other channels that teach you how to cook, that show you how to make a meal for like $5. And then you're going to want to learn the basics. And once you learn the basics, you can do almost anything with food. Just try it. Comment down below if you enjoyed this, or if it helped you in any way, or share it if you think this can help someone else. I hope y'all have a good day or night, whatever time you're watching this. I'll see y'all later. Bye.